Welcome to Kadampa podcasts. These podcasts offer practical solutions to daily challenges and help guide us to a happier and more peaceful state of mind. In each episode, you will find an extract from a teaching given by one of various Kadampa Buddhist teachers worldwide. All these teachings are inspired by the profound wisdom of Venerable Geshe Khalsang Gyatso Rinpoche, a Buddhist master for our time. We hope you enjoy listening.
Very generally, we are looking to understand our own stress. What's beginning to debilitate us, or has been our whole life debilitating us within our life, is not the outer conditions. No matter how bad they are. And I think if we had time to collectively talk about the bad stuff we've all gone through in our life, I think we've all experienced a lot of bad karma, bad negative situations. We perceived them to be very difficult, and because we didn't know what else to do, we responded to those difficulties with a negative state of mind and inadvertently perpetuated pain. Right? So that the more negative our response, the more unhappy we are, and then we actively engage in actions that are motivated by distorted ways of seeing ourselves and others, and therefore we create the cause of pain and problems in our life. Because actually it's all coming from karma, which we're going to explore soon. Middle of March, 16th to the 17th of March, we're going to do a whole weekend on understanding karma, where all the pain and problems of our lives are actually coming from, its deepest root, with the view of being able to purify our karma. Right? Karma's not fatalistic. It's not, this is how it is, tough luck, sorry, from the Buddhas, get on with it. We understand karma, cause and effect, and that dependent relationship in order to be able to change our karma, create good luck, purify negativity, purify the very source of all the problems of our life. Okay, so that's coming up soon. This is the promotional part, but I don't have time in these very short sessions to explain the full concepts. But they are explained step by step within what we offer here in our Relaxation and Happiness Training Centre. If we understand that it's the inner response to the outer problems that are actual problems, then we take more notice of what's going on in our own mind. If we're understanding that we are not our negativities, we are not our pain, we're certainly not our stress, we're not our unhappiness. These are aspects of our mind, feelings, transitory, deep, but they're not actually who we are. Our potential is this complete purity that we need to begin to access, and this is why it's possible to access that purity by controlling and purifying our mind. So just understanding that there's more to us, this gold nugget Buddha explains in all of us. This purity is obstructed in dirt at the moment, that pure gold. But we all have those hearts of gold. And from within Buddhist teachings, we're trying to get rid of the dirt and access that gold, polish it up and make it shine. So that is who we're identifying with. But until that becomes manifest, We need to have the confidence to know that it's in there. There's a purer self, there's a more positive self, there's a powerful self that can be creative, peaceful, comfortable, even in the face of the outer difficulties we find in today's world, on a personal level and on a global level. Then we can deal with those external problems with creative, productive actions that are going to be part of the solution to the pain and problems of our lives and the lives of others, not part of the problem. Being stressed out and negative and caught in our delusions, believing they are who we are and we can't change, is staying stuck in the problem and being part of the outer world problem. So we need to make the changes individually that we want to manifest externally in our world. We need to create inner peace in our own mind, and thereby we will eventually be causing outer peace to manifest in our reality. Because Buddha teaches everything is possible. Because nothing is as it seems. Nothing exists independently outside our mind the way it appears to us right now. Right now, we have an ignorance in our mind that is preventing us to understand the truth. So we fix ourselves, others, and the world around us as a big, solid problem. I'm an unhappy, miserable mess. My pain is so real and intense, and you are the one that's contributing to my pain, or that situation, or it's the world situation that's making me so unhappy. And we fix it, and we're like, that's how it is, and we're stuck. And we just get more and more tense, stressed, agitated around that. Because all our other distorted states of mind come from this perception of everything being solid, fixed, real, the way we perceive it to be. If I'm an unhappy mess, then everything I experience is going to be an inducer of that unhappiness. If we're holding ourselves, if we've got that narrative in our mind, believing that we are beyond help, that there's nothing that can be done, I'm just an agitated, confused, negative, unhappy person, then all of our experiences are coming from that belief in ourselves. Buddha's saying it's totally mistaken. That is not true. We are not who we currently think we are. But from that perspective, believing we're so solid, we automatically assume that that self is supremely important. Yes, I'm a mess, but it's a really important mess. And it's exclusive to me, and I'm unique in this mess. No one else has got pain and problems like me. Even although we know there's more manifest pains and problems that other people have or can have, we still feel our pain more acutely. It's still all about us. So this is known as our ignorance of self-cherishing, where we're obsessively exaggerating our own importance. And we believe that all our wishes are supremely important, more important than everybody else's. We might not even acknowledge that that's happening in our mind. It's like, I'm not a selfish person. Look, I'm giving all the time. I'm doing all these things for other people. But actually, it's all about we want the praise. We want other people to see what we're doing, etc., etc. And we're so stressed creating the fabrication, the veneer of our life so other people will like us. Other people will believe that we're important. How much energy goes into that? How tense do we get trying to make sure we've got the right veneer on? The superficial facade to make others believe that we are truly important. I've got more problems than you have. It's crazy, actually. But within that, all we want to happen is to fulfill our wishes. We're attached to the fulfillment of our wishes. Because our wishes are supremely important. And we're going through our day trying to do just that. Believing if we manipulate the external conditions to fulfill our wishes for happiness and freedom, disregarding everybody else's, then we will eventually find it. So it's like all these mistaken minds built on a core mistaken mind, right? So it's just like a very ridiculous foundation. But the point is, we're rarely understanding this attitude and this perspective in our mind, even as negative. It's just normal. It's just who I am. It's just how I've always lived my life. So it's only with a quiet mind we begin to see what's actually going on. It's like, oh, as horrific as it is to begin to acknowledge that actually I've got these really selfish attitudes. I've got these really sort of dominant desires in my mind that I want to achieve that are more important than everybody else's. My happiness is more important. That's just how it is, because I'm the center of the universe. Fact. And that's how we all go through our life. Like every one of us as the center of the universe. Ridiculous, actually, in reality. But it's a belief. So it's not our fault that we have that belief. The beliefs themselves are the faults, but we're a completely pure individual. And just through familiarity, we have to acknowledge that there are faults in our mind and take responsibility for them. That's the whole Buddhist path, is to begin to really recognize, acknowledge that all of the pain and problems that are externally manifesting are actually coming from faulty ways of viewing things, including especially ourselves and others, our whole world. But we can come at this, in many different ways, and all of Buddha's teachings are about dismantling these thought patterns with logic and reasoning. And then within our own experience, we begin to understand that this is the truth, and this becomes the best game of our life to overcome all of these illogical, unrealistic ways of thinking and break down those habit patterns to unveil the purity that is our true self. So let's just say we're going through our life with this mistaken mind, trying to fulfill our wishes, believing that those wishes are supremely important, attached to those fulfillment of those wishes. Everything in the outer world needs to go right for me to be relaxed, secure, and therefore happy. Like everything has to be right. From the weather, from the politics of our country or the world, everything and everyone needs to behave from that perspective. Everything has to go right. Every single day we set it up for failure. Right? Because every single day, in one way or another, we're disappointed and things don't go to plan. And it's like, oh, no wonder we're so stressed and exhausted trying to make things happen, and they never really turn out the way we want them to. So our stress is this tension between what's actually happening and what we want to be happening. Just think about individually what's going on in your life just now. This is what I want to be happening, and this is what's happening. And there's all this tension around how can I change the situation? How can I change what's happening? So what's happening in our mind is that we refuse to accept what's actually happening. So like small situation, such as missing our bus or our train, when we really needed to be on that train, and we get there just moments too late. We all know that scenario. We get there and it's and we just think, oh, somebody's going to open it for me. We see the conductor inside, and we're like, and it's the conductor's fault. And it's like the person that held us up on the stairs, or it's like, it's all externalized, the problem, the reason we didn't get that train. Doors close and it's over. It's just like, so we can spend hours really upset, bombed out because we missed that train. And get really upset, rejecting what has actually happened, and getting ourselves in quite a state, and then not even being able to think clearly about what to do with the outer conditions, right? If instead we're able to kind of just go, okay, I missed the train, okay, reset. What do I do? Get a taxi? Do I do this? I'll get the next train, okay. That's a positive response, isn't it? Nothing went to plan with that journey, but we were able to sort of keep it together, to be able to respond creatively and get on another train or find another mode of travel. Maybe at work. We're all working mostly because we enjoy what we do. Mostly, Where there's an element to like, I agreed on this career path because there's something really in it that I enjoy. And so sometimes it's like we're really busy, but we're loving being busy. So busyness itself it's not really the problem, is it? Sometimes it's just like, we love it. We've got more things to do. And sometimes, we've got all these things juggling at work. Really kind of having fun, quite enjoying all this. And then the boss or someone else asks us to do something else, and we're like, yeah, I can do that. And then we take on another ball, and we're like, woo, we have to get a bit faster, but we're still doing it. Sorry. And then at some point, the boss throws us something else, and we're saying outwardly, yes, because we don't want to look bad. We want to be that competent person. But inwardly, what we're saying is no. We're rejecting, it's just too much. And then we start dropping one of the balls or two, and then suddenly all of it is just collapsing. Because inwardly, we're in this state of, no, don't give me any more, enough, too much. But outwardly, like, yeah, sure, because we want to keep our job, and so there's this build-up of tension in our mind because we're rejecting what's actually happening. It's kind of like we're going through life with the handbrake on. Like we're driving a car and we want to be going in this direction, but we're pulled on the brake really hard. And we're like, and it's just not working. And there's all this tension building up between what's happening and what we want to be happening.
If you feel inspired by this podcast, then dive deeper into timeless wisdom of modern Kadampa Buddhism by following the link in the episode description. We look forward to reconnecting with you in the next episode of Kadampa Podcasts.